Hi, I'm Pat O'Connor, Managing Partner of Blackwood Family Enterprise Services. Really excited to bring to you a new series we're calling Conversations with Tom Deans. Tom and I have known each other 15 years and really excited about this. He's a best-selling author, sold over 2 million books, has had 1,000 speaking engagements around the world in 27 different countries. He's been in front of about 500,000 people. So this guy has been busy. And in those travels and those conversations he's had around the world, the same topics come up. Estate planning, succession planning, transition, fair versus equal, all these really important topics and subjects. So I wanted to try and capture some of Tom's wisdom, and the best way we could think of is to do an interview series. So I sat down with Tom. He was gracious to do this, asked him a whole bunch of questions around these different topics that I've heard you, our clients and advisors we work with, bring up. So what we're doing today is launching this. And the first topic I asked Tom about was this wealth transfer that we hear about and read about that's going on right now. We've talked about for 20 years, but it's actually starting to happen. And because of this wealth transfer is so significant in North America, we're trying to get a sense from Tom is what role does the will play in that transfer? We know the stats aren't great of Canadians getting wills completed, and the stats are even less great when you think about how many Canadians are actually talking to their families about their will. So we tabled that to Tom to get his perspective on thinking around the will. So I hope you enjoy this. Stay tuned, many more to come. We hear a lot about intergenerational wealth transfers. How much money is being inherited, and is the wealth transfer going smoothly? What's your thoughts on that? Please make a comment.
Well, Pat, the truth of the matter is that wealth transfers are not going particularly well at a moment in time where we are transitioning a record amount of wealth. $205 million today in Canada, and every day for the next 10 years. It is a tsunami of wealth that is transitioning across the generations. Think of what has happened to house prices and investment portfolios. Everything has gone up in value, and we are an aging demographic, right? That leading edge of the baby boomers are turning 75 years old, and they are the most successful, affluent demographic in the history of the country, and they are dying. And they are leaving a record amount of wealth to primarily their family, but also to charities. But here's the thing, Pat. Half of all Canadian adults, including half of those baby boomers that I just mentioned that are turning 75, are missing the most important document in an estate plan, and that's a will. So the quick answer is it's not going well. But the good news is, with the help of some really great advisors, we can get these families on track and have a really smooth transition.
Tom, in your book, Willing Wisdom, you talk about how the will is really not for the family, it's for the individual. And you have a connection to long-term care. Can you maybe expand on that a bit for us?
Yeah, 12.5 million Canadian adults don't have a will, roughly 50%. I actually think it's 60%. I think that number is actually closer to 14 to 15 million Canadians. It is shocking at the very moment in time when we should be writing more wills because the amount of our inheritances are increasing. The states are growing in value. And yet we find ourselves in this really odd place where we're not writing these documents. I think a will is a collaborative document. I think 12.5 million, 14 million, 15 million Canadians don't have wills because we've been led to believe that estate planning wills just answer the question, who gets my stuff when I'm dead? Well, now, how much fun is that? It's not easy putting the fun back in funeral, but let me try for a moment, okay? Here's the reality. When we go in for a will, we come out with a financial power of attorney, and we come out with another document called a healthcare directive. So the will, financial power of attorney, healthcare directive. I don't know anyone who's got a financial power of attorney and a healthcare directive unless they've got a will first. Those two other bonus documents are very much about the living. I think when 15 million Canadians watch this video and understand that if they don't have a will, they are going to leave their family without documents that empower family members to serve us when we lose capacity. Estate planning and wills is very much about the living, but it really starts with people understanding that People, as they age, gathering their families together, bringing transparency and clarity around how wealth will transition and where people hope to live when they're old. It's the same conversation. Who will take care of me when I'm not here? That seldom happens without people reaching out and getting good advice and working with an advisor to start those and manage those conversations.
If you enjoyed this clip from Tom Deans, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, Patrick at blackwoodfes.com, and we'll send you a book. Thank you.